Hey everyone, it's me. I'm back. I'm here. Just trying to do fun stuff. Do my typical arting with the Alikat. Gonna be working on some inking, which I still need to do a few things because I was having technical difficulties. Trying to get things set up. I'm still just doing a few checks and putting my mind at ease. Okay, no, it's definitely not at ease. I don't know what the hell's going on. But hey, we will see. Just want to make sure that I am currently up and running somehow. Yep, I'm currently showing live, so that is good. At least on this I am. Test, yep, I'm currently showing live, so that is good. At least on this I am. A reverb. Okay, cool. Happy that's working. Yeah, I had to completely redo my whatchamacallit. I had to completely redo my camera, my webcam to get that up and running. Ugh, drove me a little nuts. Okay. Alright, I see that is listed on here. Twitch connected chat. I don't know if I'm seeing the Twitch chat. Doing test out. Just a Twitch. Looks like I am definitely streaming. Just want to make sure I can actually see the... Yeah, I can see it on Twitch, so that's good. Okay, good. That's up and running. Whew. Yeah, it's been a day or so. But hey, let's play with some inking. I've been doing some more work with the G Pen. And I figure, I'll continue up. I was on my friend Ian's stream last night at 8, and I did some inking, so I figured I'll continue with the inking. Alright, I just want to move this so I can kind of see a little bit better in here. I really gotta get another monitor for this. That'll be easier. So one good thing about using the Mac is I have much more monitor real estate. But working traditionally, I can't really have the Mac open. I guess I could. No, that'd just be crazy. I could theoretically put the Mac over here, but I don't want to. Or I could rearrange things around, but I don't want to. But anyway, let's go and do some inking, shall we? First, we want to get the mighty G Pen. We got the glove. And we got the power. Do we have the power of love? It's a curious thing. Yeah, the ATM multi-stream thing is kind of neat, but it does get in the way. I also had my one of my window. I had little bay windows in front of me opened up, and I was starting to get cold, so I had to close those. And one of them kind of jammed on me. That was a little on the suck side too. All right, I just want to get a paper towel for the ink, and we will get going. Move my other laptop out of the way. I got cat toys all around me. I got stuff all around. Yeah, it's just crazy. Okay, let's see what we got. That in case I need it. I don't have the cup of water, because I probably don't really use it for that much during inking. I might go and grab one, but is what it is. As I said, this is for the manga that I am doing. I have to say, I really like streaming with Ian. It's fun. Plus, we get to talk old comics and stuff like that, and stuff that heavily influenced us growing up and things. It's fun to talk with people about that stuff. I watched another episode of The Pit last night. The current episode, very very good show. Highly highly recommend it. It's great medical drama. It is just amazing acting, very well done. I need to get back and watch Severance. I watched the first episode, and I have to say, it piqued my interest. Hey, Tapani, how's it going? I may one day get confident using this thing, but it will not be today. I gotta say, I do like the G Pen. That's good. Doing anything fun? Have any good plans for the weekend or anything like that? No, I'll be at the Kingston Collection in Kingston, Mass, doing selling some comics, doing some art this weekend. having a table there for like crafters and artists of the area. And it's affiliated with the studio I'm a part of. Oh, that was something. Was it important? Well, just a post on no special plans, taking it easy. Taking it easy is always good. I approve. I'm definitely not going to do all the Kirby dots with the G pen. The Kirby Crackle is not being done that. Still get used to where you pull and where you push with these things. Same blind character that I made. Let's see, that you made a cover of a year. No, this is a different character. This is actually for a manga that I'm trying to do for. I'm not jinxing it, but I was approached by a manga studio, and they wanted me to submit a one-shot idea to them, and that's what this is for. This is called "Why Was I Chosen," and it's a kind of a Sentai thing. It's kind of Power Rangers esque um, idea. Um, Tokusatsu would be the kind of genre for it. Um, so I've been working on that, and yep. When I was talking with the editor, they're like, "Oh, do you know how to use a G pen?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I do." So I am now reteaching myself how to use a Croquill pen effectively, which I haven't done since high school. I ordered some better nibs. This is those speedball ones, and I never really thought they were the greatest. So, but it's what I could get easy to play with. But I have some that are coming on Monday. I'm looking forward to that because jet pens. If you want to sponsor me, I will happily promote anything you guys do. I mean, for the longest time, I basically only used Clip Studio with streaming, but I really don't like drawing digitally. I have to say, I enjoyed. I like the convenience and the speed of it, but it's just not fun to me. Thought I had a hair on there. I didn't. I'll pull out some of the stuff I have done for this in a minute. But this right here is the first page that I've done entirely with the G pen because I was starting to draw it digitally, and I just basically got to the point where I'm like, I really don't want to draw this digitally. I'm gonna hate drawing it digitally if I do the whole thing that way. find I generally get things done better. I'm not holding the ink today. The other thing that drives me crazy about the G pens and the Crow quills is they don't hold a lot of ink. Sound effects I probably will go in with like a pen, like a micron or something like that, and I might thicken the lines a bit. The hell? Maybe it's not dipping in far enough. I mean, you're supposed to leave the little thing open, but hey, the little hole open. You working on anything fun? Yeah, definitely not supposed to go that way. I'm gonna let that dry, then I'm gonna go in and do the like light effect thing that I have coming out of it. So we'll go down to here and start working on the monster and Ashley. Same comic project forever. Who knows if you finish it? Well, yeah. Welcome to the life of an independent comicer. Yep. The joys of being a toonhead. No, but one of the things I like about working on a manga, I don't have to think about color. It's fun to be like to finish a comic. Yeah, no, I get you there. I get you there. That makes sense. My Kickstarter went well with mine. I have it pretty much done. I got a that I had a that I actually did entirely digital. But yeah, I have that coming out soon. I had to send it to press. It's been procrastinating a little bit, but it's done. Like to finish the first comic? Yep. No, I definitely get that. I learned a bunch about the manga industry recently that I had no idea about how it worked. Like, I was always curious about their submission processes and all that. And it's like, oh yeah, no, you do a one shot, you submit the whole thing. And I was like, okay, don't just do a series of pages or a pitch. No, you draw the whole damn thing out, you submit it, and they tell you if they like it or not. Then if they publish it, they'll pay you. It's amazing. Problem is that if perfectionism and lack of skills in comics doesn't match. Okay then. Yeah, definitely don't be a perfectionist because nobody can be perfect. I mean, I struggled with perfectionism a ton. It's one of the reasons I never got anything done. Everything had to be perfect, exactly how I saw it in my head, and gave up on that. What was the Kickstarter? Oh, it was for my comic, The Last Sentinel. It's something I had actually been working on for quite a while, and I just said to myself, you know what? Damn it, I'm going to finish it. And I did. I did it back in November. And yeah, at this point, I just need to send it out to get published. So, yeah, successfully funded. Actually, funded in a day. I was very impressed. I wasn't really looking for a lot, though, so. But yeah, if you look up The Last Sentinel on Kickstarter, I mean, I could probably um, grab the link in a minute, just, inking. I guess it is out. In all honesty, I probably would have submitted that, but did the entire thing in color, so I was like, no, I'm not going to convert to black and white and resend that out. So, like, I had this idea, figured, what the hell. Yeah. But The Last Sentinel is basically my fantasy comic. It's about a. Hmm, think of it as what would happen if you crossed Iron Fist with Raven in a quasi post apocalyptic future setting. Yeah, I was very proud of myself that I got that done. And I was happy. Well, it said funded in a day. I was very happy about that. So, oh, I also have to get the maps printed that I did for it. I only got an order for one, and I know the person who ordered it, so not that big of a deal there. But I would like to get it done. I made a map of the area and everything that's all set in, like the world it was set in and stuff. Yeah, then I have to go and get that scanned in at like a Staples or something because I did it on a piece of paper that was way too big. And then from there, I'll plug it into Clip Studio and give it the color treatment that I want to, where it will look kind of like an old-fashioned map. I found the Kickstarter cool. They should have text to speech on these chats so you could focus on drawing. Yeah, that would be really handy. Yep, I didn't really do any stretch goals or anything with it just because I don't have the energy to come up with like a lot of crazy crap like that, and I actually wanted to get it done till the trolls arrive. Yeah, that's very true. I guess I can mute them. I take away your power to speak. I have a cat back in here. Yep, Kaiju's here. He's behind me. Yeah, I had Lori Calcaterra helping me out with the Kickstarter work to get it going and things, and thankfully everything went through fine. I had a couple of hiccups trying to get the surprisingly selling the digital only copies. Yeah, I'll be making those available actually very shortly because I don't have to send those to print. Then I'll put them up for sale on my Gumroad. Oh look, cheap views on Steamboat.com. Isn't that really nice? That would be and uh, I thought my auto moderator tools would catch things like that, but I guess not. Join the distress look. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I had some fun doing that. I figure I had all these like tools to make things look distressed and beat up, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to town on that. I figured since it took more effort to beat the thing up, it would I'd charge more. So yeah, you're paying more for the broken thing. It's like when you buy those pants with the ripped jeans. You pay more for the privilege of somebody having ripped it for you. And trust me, I had to have my ripped jeans as a teenager. Hell, I have some as an adult. And granted, they were on sale. Probably because somebody ripped them. So if this gets picked up and actually turns into a series, which would be pretty cool, which they publish the one shot, that's usually a good sign. And if it gets enough readers, it will probably not actually distress the comics. No, they're not actually distressed. They just look like they are. Um, they made it look like there's like coffee stains on them and stuff like that. And I really beat up some of the pages on the inside with them. They're all just Photoshop brushes, basically. But if they pick this up, this thing could actually turn into a series, which would be pretty cool. I don't know how the hell I'll be able to keep up as being a professional mangaka, but hey, yeah, no, few, yeah, nope, nope. And I'll have them for sale too because I'm printing extras of everything. Actually, I also have to share the Ian's cover, which I think I did on my Facebook. Yeah, Ian's cover looks great. Yep, I agree with them though. These things do not hold enough ink. The thicker. Oh. Yeah, I'm selling actual distress comics. I'm gonna order some brand new ones, take them out back, and then drive over my car for a little bit, then send them out to people. They paid extra to get my car's tires on them. You know, I wonder if people would pay for that. That'd be kind of funny, actually. I mean, Tarantino kind of did that with Death Proof. He literally, like, filmed the movie and then beat the crap out of the cans, like the film in the can and everything. So, hmm. He did it with Death Proof and Rodriguez. I don't know if he did the same thing with his. I can't remember his. Give it that grindhouse look. In RPG books, the werewolf one. Oh yeah, it's got that. Yeah, that's true. The werewolf one has a like scratch right through it and stuff. Werewolf the Apocalypse. I like the 3 scars through it for the first 2 editions of it. Third one, I don't think it actually had the cut through it. I think it just had a printing of it on there. I don't know what the new version of it has. I don't have the new version yet. I will get it at some point. Yeah, Werewolf the Apocalypse. That was a fun game. I think my only problem with the White Wolf games is the characters felt kind of like, supernatural superheroes. I'm not sure that was what they were going for. Actually, I know it's not what they were going for, but some funnier mind. Now, if I've been thinking correctly, I would have done the other side of this first before I did this hand, but no, I wasn't thinking, so I'm gonna have to let this dry. You gotta play the street level? Yeah. Says the mage player. Yeah, I'm much more of a mage player myself. I love Mage the Ascension. It was like one of my favorite games. You get powerful enough with that, though, you literally became like a god. Granted, it only took like 500 XP or something or more to really get super potent. I was playing in a mage game. My friend's kid wanted to play in it. And they're like, yeah, sure, you can play in it. And I'm like, what do you want to play? They're like, I want to play Light from Death Note. So I made them a character that effectively could use a Death Note. That took a lot of XP to do right. We were pretty high powered at that point, though. Do I need to gain XP and ruin my character? Yeah. I was playing in one game of Mage with an Akashic brother. Again, this is after close to a year of playing. We ended up getting into a fight with some Black Spiral dancers. I literally kicked one into next week. And since it was in my sanctum, I didn't have to worry about it as much. What game line would this manga be? In all honesty, it would probably be the Year of the Lotus, World of Darkness, Demon Hunter. She would effectively be a she. They kind of have crazy cinematic abilities. I mean, the character is literally fighting right in this sequence a villain that was inspired from Werewolf the Apocalypse. She's effectively fighting a member of Seventh Generation, but I called them the Sons of Gilderay because that dude was scary as hell. And he kind of turns into like a samurai kind of creature as he's praising his father for gifts. The first uh yeah, the first few pages of the manga are her effectively doing the James Bond beginning. So she's at the end of a mission and fighting the monster that's been like um, grabbing kids and things like that off of the subway, off this basically at the subway terminal that she's tracked back to. If it goes to be a full series, I have plans on using the Sons of Gilderay again. But yeah, they were a bit inspired by Seventh Generation, so I actually ran a years ago. God, it's like over 20 years ago at this point. Uh, a werewolf game set. I ran 3 games over the course of this, where they were all set in basically Japan, in Tokyo. And the first one I did was Werewolf, and I used Seventh Generation as a major adversary in it. And I used the Imperial Regalia was a major part of the story arc. So Grasscutter was a thing in it. And the 3 games all centered around Grasscutter. I do have a sequel to the Mage game that it's another set in the my Asian setting. You now knowing all the lore, yes. my I had an idea for a follow-up game to the last one because that basically completed my trilogy of games for that I set in Japan. Uh, I have a follow up where I wanted to have them face the four, where I had kept alluding to this group for a while that were just known as she, and since she means death and also the number 4, that was appropriate. And there were these 4 entities that would appear at different points. But yeah, I had literally. Oh, hey Dave, how's it going? Long time no see. Yeah, I haven't spoken to you for a bit. Figured just doing here and doing some inking, working on my manga. Good. That appears to be dry over there. Good. It's okay. I haven't seen you around quite a while. Yeah. Well, I'm happy. That's what I do. I don't really stream to play video games. Guess I could, but no, it's not that interested. The hell is It's going okay. Okay, oh, I already got that. Well, I'm glad it's going okay. Um, Still living in the same place? I have to eat lunch soon. I'm retired now. Yeah, I knew you were retired. Remember you mentioned that last time we chatted. But yeah, we should definitely catch up sometime. I still have the same phone number, and I live a bit closer now. I mean, I live in Massachusetts now, where I don't live in Rhode Island anymore. So right now I'm living in what I call the basement of chaos. I'm glad you stopped by, Dave. Yeah, feel free to call or whatever, man. Same phone number. It hasn't changed. God, retired. Jesus. You're retired? I'm disabled. So I guess smudged a little bit down here. Not that big of a deal. Yep, I am. Still game with Jen and Curtis. I play with them every Sunday. We have a game. I'm actually going to be starting running a Marvel superheroes game this week. We're doing a session 0, and Jen actually runs a game this weekend on Saturday, playing in an Old Gods of Appalachia campaign or Appalachia. Yeah, super fun game. It's inspired by the podcast series. It's kind of Call of Cthulhu-ish, very Wellman, Manuel Wade Wellman inspired. Really, really good. I also run for a local library group, but the library pays me to run D&D, and I run at the local battleground in Abington, where they pay me in store credit to run D&D. I was thinking about setting up a start playing thing and trying to go from there. Yeah, whatever. Curtis's name is out there. He runs a sword and sorcery website. He's actually run for the better part of 10 years. Um, sword and sorcery magazine.com, and he literally, he's a writer and everything. But yeah, I mean, I haven't said the last name. It's just Jen and Curtis. But yeah, Curtis is out in the world, the worlds of the internet. Going about an hour. Definitely gonna go to like finish this page up. Eventually, when I get the basic kind of lines all done, I'll pull out some of the other stuff that I've done for this and show the stream. I still have to do all the. I still have to do my black fills and stuff. I'm looking forward to next week when I get my new nibs. I'll have a new Maro nib, which is good because I broke my other one. And I get a few new G Pen nibs. I'm also shocked at the deleter paper because I thought I was going to hate it because of how thin it is, but God, it's really good for the G Pen. So used to using like a Bristol board. I've also been trying to Murata-ize my style a little bit because Yusuke Murata is badass. So I was looking at a few of the way he does a couple of things. I'm like, I want to add some of his techniques into my stuff. And I did. I really like the way he draws eyes on girls, though. So I didn't add that. I mean, he's only one of the many mangaka that I'm inspired by, but One Punch Man is just gorgeous. He does that all digitally. He used to be a traditional only, but I think it's because he can go faster with Clip Studio. What was the name? Yusuke Murata. He does the art for One Punch Man, and the writer is known as One. Yeah, it's Yusuke, then Murata. Murata. I could try writing the kanji down, but I'm not going to. I mean, Kadoshiro Otomo is a huge influence on me, and I can't think of his name. That's killing me. He did Lone Wolf and Cub, and it's also driving me nuts. I can't think of the guy who did Blade of the Immortal because that guy is a huge influence on my style. That with Frank Miller and Eastman Laird. I got a bit of topic frontal into me too. Yeah, no, I mean the anime is good looking, but damn, that manga is incredible. He's done a bunch of stuff too, mostly one shots. But yeah, he's just an amazing artist. I think at his start when he was like 13, he entered a fan contest for Mega Man and designed one of the villains that appeared in Mega Man 4 and one that appeared in 5. Yeah, no, it's amazing. Yeah, his stuff is gorgeous. Uh, which that's what I'll be using Clip Studio for, is all the grayscale stuff. I want to do all my line work traditionally, then I'll do like all my screen tones and everything else will be done digitally, because I don't want to do screen tones. Don't want to get messing around with Zipatone. Rocket's eating. Yeah, and some of it looks gray, but it's actually just different variations of black next to each other. That's one of the great things about screen tones is they can give the illusion of gray depending on the size of the dots and how close they're spaced together. But he actually uses gray because he's using Clip Studio, and I know he actually has gray layers, actual gray layers. Yeah, so I started studying some of his stuff actually about a year ago, and I really started to kind of apply it with this project. Yeah, my Zatoichi inspired piece that I was doing, that was the one with the blind girl swordsman. That was Rin. Which I called Stray Cat. Uh, she had that's where I first started really playing with the gray tones to get it to look kind of like the way Murata was doing some of this stuff. But this I've actually taken a few of his artistic licenses with the way he does a few things. Like men's eyes, I liked how he did those. There's certain things with how he does exaggerations of the face I liked, and a few other things I took. He also has this like stylized look, but it's def and like it looks like deceptively simple, which I like that. Go a little bit over an hour. But yeah, I don't have an interest in stopping just yet, so I I was thinking about going in with some Copics and doing some manual grayscale on this with this like my grayscale Copics and giving it kind of that look. Oh, mine. This is actually something I found interesting when I was talking with the editor over there. I specifically asked them about that. Should I do this right to left or left to right? And they're like, "Well, you're American. Do it left to right." I was like, "Okay then." But yeah, so if you're doing manga and you know, and you're an American, I can tell you that one of the biggest publishers of manga in the world said do it left to right. You can do it right to left, but they're like, oh, if you have an easier time doing left to right, do left to right. And I was like, I will. They're like, manga is just the what manga just means comics. So they were just like, it's just a comic book. So do it the way you want to do your comic book. And I'm like, okay then, I will. That sounds amazing. I'm all for it. I really didn't want to do it the other way. I could do it, but I didn't want to figure it out. I guarantee I would have screwed up at some point. Okay, let's go. But yeah, a lot of the manga I read obviously is right to left because it's Japanese creators and that's how they write their stuff and read, so makes sense. They used to flip them years ago. Glad they don't anymore because it can mess up the art in some ways. Oh yeah, I still have to add in. I have to add in a sound effect in that too. Yeah, just wondering if the tension was focusing on releasing on the first two panels. It's yeah, it's starting to build up, and then she calls the sword, and this guy then reveals that he's something else. But yeah, so yeah, but yes, good question. Just do a small nip. There we go. Yeah, I was gonna have the um this hand started to transform, but I decided against it. I figured I'd wait until she called forth the sword, then do it. Okay. Okay. Guess I could pull out a brush and go and start doing some of my black fills that way, but I'm not going to. Okay, that's good. Use that one. I don't want the Kurataki. What is it? There it is. Ah. Yes, that's true. The scary ink bottle is closed. As I've never spilt any ink on my drawings before. It's one of the reasons I stopped using a dip pen. Can't remember where it was, but I was sitting I was showing somebody how I would use the dip pen, and I literally spilled it like right onto a couch too. Thankfully, it was a leather couch, and the India ink is water soluble. It when it's still wet, you can easily clean it up. But that scared the hell out of me. I'm low on ink on this. No, I have replacements. Yeah, it's running out. I'm gonna have to dig some of those up there in my art supply area. Hmm. But I got this one. I guess the worst case scenario, if I need to, I can open up the bottle again and pull out a brush. Getting a ton of messages all at once. Okay then. Nothing important. When in doubt, black it out. Now I can do Kirby Crackle for pretty much ever. I haven't looked at too much manga that uses Kirby Crackle. I'm betting there's somebody who does, but I haven't really noticed it. Or I might have just glossed over it if it's in a book I've read. I like Kirby Crackle. Globs of energy. Well, thanks, Jay. Hey, Marthas, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Yeah, Martha saw me working on this last night. Ugh. I have to wrangle my cats back in soon. One of my housemates will be getting home soon. He doesn't really want to deal with the cats, and he lives upstairs, so I let them roam around when he's not home. But when he gets home, I get them back in. The other guy I live with, Jeremy, he loves the two of them, so he doesn't care. But I have to respect the other person I live with, even if he can be an ass. Don't feel bad after stuff getting finished too. Well, I was working on this yesterday. I mean, I finished my Kickstarter. I gotta send it up for print, but it's done. Um, I also have to get the map scanned, but that's just going to Staples and having that done. Thing's way too big to do it on my scanner. The other thing I had funny when I was doing I was talking with the editor, and he's like, "Wow, you really have a good form on your American graphic novel style," and I'm like, "Racism manga." Like, to the point I just gave up and embraced it. Uh, oh, what kind of pen is this? This is a brush pen. It's fairly common one you get. They're really good. This is a Kuretake brush pen, which I think this is technically a Kuretake too. This one's a bit more expensive, but I ran out of ink on it. I need to refill it, which my refills are over here somewhere. So, so I pulled out the other one I have, which is in some ways just as good. Um, it's cheaper. Like that's like a $50 pen. This is like a $7 pen. But like you can replace everything on that other one. Like I can put in a new brush tip. I can do tons of stuff with it. Um, it puts down one hell of a sea of black. I have inked with it before, as opposed to like using a tip traditional brush. I've inked with that. I don't like to ink with this. I mean, I'll do black fills and stuff, but I don't really like to ink with it. That'll do gray. But yeah, I think this is also a Kuretake as the manufacturer. I'm not positive. I mean, it's definitely I can't really get it in there, but it's definitely Japanese. But yeah. Seems like just about every artist I know has one of these. So I know Dave does, David Finch. Ian does, I know that. Um, D Dubs definitely does. Daniel Warren Johnson. Then again, if it's like an art utility piece or any type of art making thing, I guarantee Dan has tried it. He loves his art supplies and messing with different pens. And I will say this, he has gotten me interested in possibly using a parallel pen, which I never would have thought about using. How long is it taking you to do a page from thumbnails to color? Um, Typically it takes me when I thumbnail out. I thumbnail pretty quick. Um, I only do like one or two passes on a page before I usually hit something I'm somewhat happy with. Um, and I do them pretty small. Um, when I take a page from, you know, my rough, because I rough everything out digitally. Then I print it onto onto the paper I want to use. Then I do my pencils. Between penciling and inking, probably 8 hours. Um, the one good thing about manga is I don't have to color it. But when I like the last Sentinel, when I colored it, that it takes forever. It's funny because I like flatting because it's something I can just lose myself in doing. But I'd say like 12 hours probably do a full page. Add another hour to do. No, it takes me less time to letter. If I letter digitally, I can. It's pretty quick. So, and when I do all my dialogue, that's always lettered digitally. I don't trust my handwriting. It sucks. Yeah, and I will say that my coloring style, when I color, I like cell shaded looks and stuff, so that is a little easier. I mean, I can pretty much work right off my flats and make it look cell shaded from there. And I usually add like some different gradient effects and a few other things just to give it a little bit more pop. Now, when I scan this and go in, some of these areas I'm leaving white, I'll actually add some gray tone to it. Put in some screen tone values and things. Like there'll be some in the mouth here. Eyes, I'm going to leave stark white. The eyebrow things I'll probably make gray, like a light gray. And the tearing clothing coming off of them and stuff like that, that's all going to be, that'll have a gray scale to it. That'll probably be very light. It's funny you have one of these pens. Yeah, I would be surprised if you didn't. I said, I'm pretty sure everybody has this thing. It's like, you're doing comic art? Here's your 2H and your and your Kuretake brush pen. The other thing I tend to do with my colors when I color digitally, I hit it with a like a fuzziness to it. So I try to make it look like it was done with colored pencils. This is I hit it with a noise filter. It has this look to it that's like, did you do that with colored pencils? Yes, yes, I did. I did the entire thing with colored pencils. And I do have all the polychromos colors done uh, as swatches, so that's cool. Yeah, but I have that filter pre-made, so all I have to do is basically drag and drop it in. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons I like doing manga better. I don't have to worry about color. I also really like black and white comics. I mean, I was a huge fan of Eastman Laird's Ninja Turtles. I can refer to like when I do the cell shading stuff though, and then I go into change all the lines to all the line art to look kind of um so it fits with the the color, the base color around it and stuff like that. I refer to that as it takes me one Daft Punk song a page. I mean, people are interested. I'll do some of the coloring and a few other things on this as I go. Like when I scan this and all that. I mean, I'll do the screen tones and stuff with this, so people can see that being done. All right. And the other thing that I'll do in the background here is I'll put in some focus lines that are kind of like speed lines that will push in on this section to focus towards the monster's face. That'd be kind of cool too. I'll probably add some in here too, and that kind of will pop, and they'll have the whole area with those. All right, so I'm thinking about it. Okay, I'm gonna move this off to the side. Get this out of the way. Gotta wash this. Let's put this up over here. There, you can see all my art supplies. A bunch of them. Let's see. Let's go through here. Some of my early concepts for this. It's early concepts for the character. Those are some of my villains. Let's kind of turn that to get the light off of it. Another villain. Character. Some more villains and stuff, and that's the thing that gives her her powers. My villains. She's one of the characters that's appearing in the comic. There it is. That's a color piece I did for it. That's her in her armor. Oop. Thankfully the cap is on. Yeah, the job's mostly done. But yeah, so that would be the quote-unquote cover for it. I got a few pages done. This one I have laid out, but I have to, like, I don't know if you can see it, but I have my rough layouts on here, and I still have to pencil it in and do it. So. And same with this page here, and this page is mostly done. I have to do a few more pieces on it, but it's mostly done. You do the page on the right. Yeah, it's it just has my roughs on it. Yeah, I did this page. Yep, that page is done. That's page 1. That's actually done with all the effects and everything in it, and I have my lettering on it and stuff like that. So, well, thank you. Yeah, I take a lot of pride in my backgrounds. But yeah, that's what's going from there. Yeah, I actually accidentally printed out the cover page with the green and that page, and at that point, it's hell with it, and I printed out all the pages I had done or were working on. I didn't mean to. I was trying just to print my latest rough page so I could, go and do my penciling. But hey, I messed up. Probably gonna add a little bit more black to that hand. Maybe a bit more black up in here. Worry about that later, though. Let's sit for a bit. I'm gonna do some cleanup work. I gotta get my cats. I've been streaming an hour and 40. That's pretty good. So I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna try for again on my on this for Friday at 3. If I can do some other times, I will. In the meantime, if you guys could do me the favor, and I'm back over here with just my mug. Yeah, that's me. But I'm going to let everybody go. So, everyone, have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. Don't do anything too crazy. Have a wonderful time. Bye, everyone. Everybody's great. Thanks for coming by.